Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsuman, and we're coming to you live from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Prime Time studios. We just heard the Union Minister for Commerce in Modi 2.0, Piyush Goyal, rebut the charges made by the Congress party led by Rahul Gandhi and Jairam Ramesh earlier in the evening about the stock market manipulation or the alleged stock market manipulation. And one of the aspects that stood out there in that rebuttal was Piyush Goyal saying that when it showed that perhaps that the India alliance could be taking the lead, the stock markets actually tanked. The sentiment was in favor of a strong, robust Modi 3.0, and the markets consolidated and came back when they realized that yes, it is going to be a third term for the NDA led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But it all happened in Maharashtra. It all happened in the financial capital of Bharat, that is Mumbai. And let's try and focus on what's happening there, because there is a lot, even as there is a new Sarkar in the making, ladies and gentlemen, in Delhi, in the national capital, with Chandrababu Naidu touching down at 10:30 p.m. tonight. There is a meeting that's currently on at 7 Lok Kalyan Marg, and Amit Shah and JP Nadda, after meetings through the day, are present there. The sharing of portfolios, all those conversations will happen. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde has made some interesting points. He's actually come out and has said that we've demonstrated a superior success rate compared to the previous, compared to the Uddhav Thackeray Sena, and in direct fights with the Uddhav Thackeray Sena, we have actually, the Shiv Sena led by him has actually done better. We've won 7 out of the 6 berths there. So 7 out of the 13 Lok Sabha seats there. Now he's also come ahead and said that we want not just a cabinet expansion at the state at the earliest ahead of the state elections this year. The Ajit Pawar-led faction of the Nationalist Congress Party, NCP, has called a meeting at their official residence in Mumbai, sensing an unrest among their own MLAs. Now, we're given to understand the loss in Baramati seat and the victory of Nilesh Lanke from Ahmednagar against the BJP after joining Sharad Pawar camp from Ajit camp has also sent a strong signal that Sharad Pawar still enjoys sympathy in the state. Eknath Shinde Shiv Sena has won 7 of the 15 Lok Sabha seats it contested, including his own political stronghold in Thane, but lost 2 constituencies in Mumbai to its rival Shiv Sena, the UBT. 7 secured seats. Shinde's party has demonstrated superior success rate compared to the BJP itself in Maharashtra that's clinched only 10 out of 28 seats it's contested. Now, this outcome potentially strengthens Shinde's bargaining power, seeking one plum post in the NDA cabinet and positioning himself to lead the Mahayuti alliance in the upcoming state assembly elections. Now, we got some more news coming through, and sources are saying within the NDA with respect to Maharashtra that there are difficulties increasing for Ajit Pawar-led NCP. 5 MLAs actually did not attend the meeting of the MLAs called by Ajit Pawar. Meanwhile, Eknath Shinde has given instructions to all his MPs. Instructions have been given not to keep in touch with any leader of the India alliance at all. He's given this instruction during a meeting with the MPs. The CM has even given this order that after the news of some MPs being in contact with Ubata or the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray, this news also came to light saying you're not talking to any member of the India alliance. That's the news that's just come through. Let's try and get a move on, even as plenty of talk is happening in each of the factions. There is also a certain level of a rustle within the India alliance, but we'll go to that in just a bit. Let's try and show you the breakup of numbers between the NDA and the India grouping or the India bloc in Maharashtra. Out of 48 seats, the Congress has won 13, Uddhav Thackeray Sena or Uddhav Sena has secured 9, Sharad Pawar camp has secured 8, 30 of the 48 seats in Maharashtra, that's the total. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the Shinde Sena. 7 they won, the BJP won 9, and the Ajit Pawar faction got 1 out of the 5 that they won. Now, the NDA has won 17 out of the 48 seats in Maharashtra. This is the scorecard. So clearly, this is not the performance that the NDA expected. The biggest loss has been for the BJP. The biggest gain has been for the Congress party. Uddhav Thackeray will be encouraged and enthused by the 9, but in the direct fight with Eknath Shinde, it is Eknath Shinde who prevailed because he's won all these 7 in direct fights with the Uddhav-led Sena or Uddhav Sena. NCP is also in the plus. That is the Sharad Pawar faction or the NCP SP. But the main NCP, Ajit Pawar, will believe that he should have won 3, but he's won only 1 because the BJP did not do its job or the alliance partners did not do their job. That's the allegation made with respect to Baramati and in Ahmednagar. Now let's break down the vote share for you. The BJP had the highest vote share in the state. Now this is very interesting. Their seat share is the least, but their vote share is the highest. But this is a slip. It's not as robust as it was in the last assembly elections or even in 2019. But they've got 26.18%. The Congress has 16.92%. The Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray or Uddhav Sena has 16.72%. So they're mirroring their vote shares. Eknath Shinde himself has got about 13% vote share. Sharad Pawar got 10.27% vote share. But Ajit Pawar has got only a 3.60% vote share overall. So is Ajit Pawar the weakest in this lot, in this entire link? Is he the weakest link? And are there some learnings, strong learnings for the BJP? Now, Shiv Sena-led Eknath Shinde has been claiming a better strike rate compared to the Uddhav Sena on seats where both of them were in direct contests. The ruling Shiv Sena has won 7 out of the 15 Lok Sabha seats it contested in Maharashtra. Out of the 15 seats, Shiv Sena was directly contesting with its rival Sena, Uddhav Sena, in 13. And that's the strike rate. The strike rate is 53.8 or 54, and this is 46. 7 for Eknath Shinde, Shiv Sena, and Uddhav Sena getting 6. But more importantly, the claim is Thane, Kalyan, Halkangale, Buldhana, Aurangabad, and Mawal, they're all where Eknath Shinde has claimed not just a better strike rate but also more presence on ground. More importantly, Eknath Shinde claims, and it's a strong claim, that the core Shiv Sena vote is about 20%, and they have pulled at least 16.8 or nearly 17% of that. So only 3% of the core Shiv Sena vote has gone to Uddhav Thackeray. And the allegation is that Uddhav Thackeray has won on the back of the Congress and the NCP Sharad Pawar support. It's those votes that have helped Uddhav Thackeray, not his own core Sena votes. Just like in the past, the BJP alleged that the Shiv Sena's success was largely riding on the BJP core voter pushing Uddhav Thackeray and the Shiv Sena then. This time around, it's the Congress and the NCP Sharad Pawar that actually pulled the votes and helped Uddhav Sena. That's the claim made by Eknath Shinde and the Shiv Sena there. Syed Zafar Islam, national spokesperson of the BJP with us. Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator and scientist with us. Clyde Crasto, spokesperson of the NCP Sharad Pawar with us. And George Kurian, political analyst backing the Congress with us. Namaste, Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you for your patience. There came Piyush Goyal's clarification on the allegation made earlier in the day, but it's all happening in Mumbai and Maharashtra, Syed Zafar Islam. सबसे ज़्यादा इस जोड़ तोड़ में the numbers show कि घाटे में BJP रही. You got 26% vote share, but there's a huge slide in the number of seats that you could get. 10 out of 28 contested by the BJP. Yes.
Anand, I agree with you that there is a setback for us. As an NDA, as a BJP alone, as an NDA put together, there is a setback. And I will not deny that, and I need to tell you this is very important for us to evaluate, understand, and do introspection, understand the reason why it has happened, why did we lose despite having large vote share. Still it has not been converted into actual number of seats, something which definitely is bothering us. We will definitely, the leadership will do introspection. The leadership will definitely identify the reasons, spot the problem, and of course will definitely take the course correction, because we know that the assembly election is round the corner, and we have to fight the election again in October, November. So it is important for us to evaluate everything, understand the dynamics, reason, everything, to take appropriate action going forward, because it is a big loss for us. What went wrong, as of now, I will not be able to comment, because everyone has put in their heart and soul. But what has worked for them, what has not worked for us, is something which we need to really understand. And that is what the leadership will do, and we will definitely do the course, take the course correction.
There is this alliance of the incongruous, which has not worked for the Mahayuti, but it seems to have somewhere worked for the Mahavikas Aghadi. Anand Ranganathan, how is it that Uddhav Thackeray and gets votes transferred from the Congress and the NCP Sharad Pawar, But Ajit Pawar does not get that, that's what they are alleging, from Shiv Sena and the BJP.
Good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. First of all, must thank you that through you, we got to learn about Rahul Gandhi and his fantastic idea of a JPC to investigate the stock market crash. I suppose the only JPC that needs to be conducted is to find out that normally when humans are endowed with cranium, why is it missing in one particular member of parliament twice over? The simple fact of the matter is that the markets, if I may take 30 seconds to answer that, because that was what was going on in the beginning, that the markets expected the BJP to do much better than what it did, and it feared the India Alliance coming over. Therefore, it feared that businesses would be hit predictably, and therefore it crashed. And now it has almost recovered to the same level that it was 4 days ago. If you remember, in 2004, all the exit polls predicted that the NDA would retain the government power. And when it didn't, it was one of the biggest market crashes that were seen, 16%. And Mr. Chidambaram had to come on live and calm the markets down. He was unsuccessful. Then it was left to the communist Buddhadev Bhattacharya, if my memory serves me right, to come on and say that, look, please don't worry, we are going to continue with the reforms and everything. Does that mean that there was a scam at that point as well? What kind of harebrained, as I said, it is easier to consume rasam with chopsticks than to make sense of Rahul Gandhi. Be that as it may. Now coming swiftly on to that thing, Anand, what Mr. Sharad Pawar had desired for decades has finally happened, but not in the way that he had perceived it. He had, many say, split the Sena into Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray just to split the votes. But right now what has happened is a clean demarcation between the Sena, Uddhav faction and the Shinde faction. And you're absolutely right. Why is it that Mr. Ajit Pawar was unsuccessful, whereas clearly Uddhav has been successful, and Mr. Sharad Pawar as well, in garnering their part of the vote share? I'm not talking of the seats per se, but it's much more difficult to talk of the vote share. The fact of the matter is that both the BJP and Shinde faction to some extent have suffered from their association with Ajit Pawar. And if you want 10-second response to that, the response comes from the Prime Minister himself, who on one evening says that Ajit Pawar is responsible for insinuates is responsible for a 70,000 crore scam, and in the next morning itself inducts him into the government. The kind of perception that had around the world of politics, especially in Maharashtra, I would say was devastating, and BJP has suffered because of that. There is no doubt about it.
In trying to teach certain people certain lessons, has the BJP halved itself, Syed Zafar Islam? Was the BJP okay, all right, with Eknath Shinde, but is Ajit Pawar the weakest link? The other aspect is, has the core BJP voter also come back and punished you for going against the very grain of the BJP's DNA? Co-opting outsiders has been punished, Syed Zafar Islam. Co-opting those who are not aligned to the ideology has been punished. And it's reflective in Bengal also.
Well, Anand, it will be unfair to make any comment in terms of what went wrong, who has punished whom, whether really we could not get the support, or we couldn't provide the support to NCP led by Ajit Pawar. I mean, these are the things which needs to be evaluated based on certain information we will gather and data we will gather, and we will evaluate and understand understand the reason why it has not happened, and we could not get the number of seats we were expecting. But let me tell you, we are a united group, NDA. The voters definitely identify as NDA, and NDA is known for few things which is important for the voters, and that's why they always support the Honorable Prime Minister and NDA as a group, because we work for the welfare of the people, we work with the policy, nation first policy.
So you are not willing to accept the Maharashtra mandate as a rejection of Ajit Pawar? Coming to you, Clyde and George Kurian, thank you for your patience.
Well, it
just
is
coming. Yeah.
Not at all. I mean, I won't make this kind of a statement. It is for the leadership to make a statement what went wrong, and based on that, but perhaps we will be able to take a stand. But right now, it would be unfair to make any such drastic statement which is factually incorrect to my mind, because we fought united as a
Sir,
group.
I'm looking
But
at
something has
purely
not
the vote
worked.
share numbers.
But for instance,
Look at the vote share numbers. If you
For
put out,
instance,
let's
let
put
me
out
tell
the
you.
vote share numbers.
For instance,
I'm not making things up.
I've seen
The
the vote share,
BJP
I
got
remember.
26%. Congress
No,
got
I-
16.92. Uddhav Thackeray got 16.72. The Shiv Sena,
See, it's not the right way to.
Shiv Sena got 12.95.
Anand,
They have got
Anand.
17% of the core Shiv Sena voters, if
Anand.
they claim. Who's got the least in all of this?
Anand,
What's his vote share in the 5 seats that they
Anand,
contested?
is this the right approach to have a look at the how much support he has got from people?
He himself
Because
is
he has
claiming
only fought on
that
5
in Baramati
seats.
he would have won had
No.
the MLA constituency of the BJP transferred the votes properly. They didn't transfer. They are claiming that the BJP candidate who left from Ahmednagar is the reason why they've lost in Ahmednagar. That's their claim.
Anand, I appreciate if anyone is making that kind of comment, but I will not make that any such noise just because I am being asked such questions. But let me tell you, they only fought on 5 seats, and among all the political parties, I think BJP has the maximum number of vote share. But in terms of seats, just see, Congress has 16%, yet 13 seats out of the 17 seats they fought. Likewise, Shinde group, likewise, Uddhav Thackeray group. I think it is best to understand, and Sharad Pawar 80% strike rate. What that does suggest that somehow it worked for them. In some constituency, may or may not have been transferred.
Sir,
votes have
overall,
not been transferred
the
to their
Mahavikas
expectation.
Aghadi, which was a
But it-
distant
right now
second
it
to
is-
you until recently, is 4% ahead of you.
Yeah.
Ahead of the Mahayuti. So understand this,
Yes.
sir. Understand this, sir, that their Jod Tod has worked over 3 years. Your Jod Tod has actually diffused you or weakened you over the last 18 months. That is, and there is a message there to the BJP. There is a message there from the Maharashtra voter to the BJP. Clyde
If there
Castro
is a-
George, Clyde Castro
Anand,
George.
Anand,
Sir,
Anand, just last statement. If there is any message, only we are very receptive to message coming from the ground and from the people and from the voters. Anything which needs to be, the course correction needs to be taken, will be taken.
I can
to
only
ensure
say that the biggest
such
message is coming
performance
from
is not
within your
repeated.
own party, sir. The biggest message is coming from within your own party, your own cadre, your own local leadership. The biggest message is coming from there. Clyde Castro, George Kurian, thank you for your patience. Yes, Clyde, go ahead, please. Will you accept Ajit Pawar back in the fold?
Jai Hind, Anand.
Are there others who are
Anand,
trying to move
Jai
back?
Hind to you.
Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
Well, I'd like to tell you very clearly that that story of, Ajit Pawar for our party is a closed chapter. I mean, we're not going to read into it, not going to discuss into it. He's gone, it's over, the story's over. Now, there are a couple of things I would like to say, and I was patiently listening, so please give me a little time. First and foremost, you showed percentage, and, the BJP spokesperson was arguing that it's not that, and, he's contested less number of seats. And let me tell you one very clear example. Okay, like I told you before, the Baramati Vidhan Sabha constituency and the Lok Sabha constituency are two different things altogether. But let me tell you, and these are not my data or my reports, according to the Election Commission, Ajit Pawar ji has trailed in Baramati Vidhan Sabha constituency by more than 45,000 votes. So the people there also have rejected him in the Lok Sabha. Their own leader, one MLC from the Ajit Pawar camp, who's a very close worker of Ajit Pawar, has accused the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Mahayuti people of not assisting them and not helping them. I'm not saying it, he himself is saying it.
Yes, I quoted that.
So the point here is very clear that, the point very clear here is that people have rejected Ajit Pawar ji in Baramati itself, where he claimed that he can do anything out there. The second point I'd like to tell you is, and Anand, if you remember this, we did a discussion. I'm not calling it a debate because we were in a discussion there. And remember what I told you, and I will repeat this again. What did I tell you? I'm a sportsman. If my opponents are good, I will always say they are good, but I'll still fight them and I'll still compete with them. What did I tell you? If the BJP had gone alone in Maharashtra, they would have done well. But they are going to find it very difficult to wash the sins of the Ajit Pawar group and Eknath Shinde group. And this is what they are paying for, because they took them on and now they have not been able to garner the votes that they wanted. See, the point here is, at the end of the day, the percentage of votes don't matter. The number of seats matter. Rahul Dravid, playing 100 balls and scoring 50 runs, he doesn't get 100, he gets a 50. That's the point here. So my thing is very simple, is including the Honorable Prime Minister, including all the BJP leaders, went on saying that everybody is corrupt, and all those they blamed of being corrupt were taken into their party and given tickets, and the people of Maharashtra are wise enough. They just rejected. They said we cannot take this bluff. Don't bluff us. You call them corrupt, now you take them in their party, and now you're asking us to vote for them. We are not going to do that. So BJP paid for all these kind of sins that they did. And let me tell you one thing, I'm nobody to give advice, but like I said, I'm a sportsman. If I know something, I'll share it with BJP. BJP made the biggest blunder of listening to people who have personal enmities in Maharashtra. Their leaders had personal enmities. They wanted to break people. Then they went on board. I mean, you took Ajit Pawar, you took Eknath Shinde, you broke parties. You even went ahead and took Raj Thakre. I don't know what Raj Thakre did for them. Absolutely, I mean, no meaning in that. So at the end of the day, what you're showing, what numbers are correct, but the fact of the matter is, who's got how many seats, that's what is being counted, and that's what it will be counted. You can console yourself. If we are being kind of accused of you're sort of consoling yourself and moral victory and all by saying that we got high percentage of votes, and it is not going to console anybody. The numbers don't show at all.
Right. Now, so this is something that has been said for a while from some of the strongest, tallest leaders of Maharashtra BJP, that the BJP should have fought alone. In fact, even before the assembly elections the last time around, they said, let's go alone, post-poll, zarurat padi to kar lenge. Anand Ranganathan, and then George Kurian, and then finally Zafar Islam. Yes.
Yeah, no, fantastic analytical comments by the NCP spokesperson, Clyde. Just a slight disagreement. The closest ally, the most trustworthy ally of the BJP is the Shiv Sena Shinde faction.
Yes.
And I make a distinction because I am not talking about the Uddhav faction. So I disagree with Mr. Clyde when he says the BJP should have gone alone. The BJP should have allied as it did, but only with the Shinde faction. Because Shinde may or may not be in Shiv Sena. That entire thing is the BJP core ideology. In fact, it is more of a Hindutva ideology than BJP is itself. So other than that, Mr. Clyde is correct.
Okay. George Kurian. George Kurian. Clyde,
Anand, one request. Anand, just 10 seconds. Anand, 10 seconds, please. Quickly. Mr. Anand, what I'm trying to tell you here is why I said he should have gone alone. Because, their leader, Kirit Somaiya, accused the Shinde faction of corruption. And I'll give a small example. I live in South Mumbai. Anand knows that. The candidate from the Shinde faction here, Yamini Jadhav, was accused of 1,000 crore scam by Kirit Somaiya. When you accuse somebody and then you take them on, you're going to suffer.
Well, that's another point. That's another point. But from the ideological point of view, the Shiv Sena currently is far more aligned with the BJP than Ajit Pawar. Ajit Pawar taking no credit away from him for being an able administrator. He was the grassroots worker who had the connect with the people on ground as far as NCP is concerned.
Agreed.
But he's ideologically a different tent pole altogether. This ideological co-option and dilution is something which has not gone down well on ground. But George Kurian, quickly, George Kurian, the biggest gainer in Maharashtra is the Congress. So you have stooped to conquer. You've ceded ground and you have grown. This is the story for the Congress across. If the Sangli MP is also joining the Congress, you are on 100 then, nationally. Yeah.
Anand, let me reiterate for the benefit of your audience. We may have lost the battle, but we have won the war. The reason why I'm saying this is because we are able, the Congress party along with the India Alliance, we are able to restrict the Bharatiya Janata Party to a figure which is 240. They have slipped down from 303 to 240. So they could not reach the halfway mark on their own, which is a victory for the Congress party and the people of India at large, because in that case, now they are completely, they are not in a dominating position, or, they have to depend upon the allies. So that's a victory for the Congress party in itself. And we are in no hurry. We will play the role of a strong opposition, and we are not going to break away the pre-poll alliance, and we are not into that. You very well know that the Congress party, it's not in the nature and character of the Congress party to break alliances, and especially the pre-poll alliances. If there is anything that doesn't work out there, our doors are open for the Chandrababu Naidu and for that matter Nitish Kumar. Coming to Maharashtra, the Congress party, I really appreciate the mandate of the people and using their wisdom and voting for the India Alliance in Maharashtra. We have done exceptionally good. Our combination and our rapport among each other is really good, fantastic. We are looking forward to the Vidhan Sabha election, which is coming up in October, and we are confident we'll surpass the 200 mark out of 298 and form the government in Maharashtra.
Sir, if Mr. Chandrasekhar, Mr. Raike Gujral and they were alive, they would know what the Congress has done to them. Chaudhary Charan Singh, there are so many others who would know, who would come back and tell you how able or how stable was the Congress and in terms of keeping its promises and its alliances. But Clyde, I'll just tell you, look at the vote share. Who's the strongest? Who was the weakest in Maharashtra in that Yuti? And who's the strongest today in terms of vote share? And that is one of your own allies. So that is something that you also need to watch out for as a regional party, as a Chhatrap. Yeah. That this story of the cannibalization of the regional Chhatrap or trying to grow on the back of a regional Chhatrap is a story of every national party, including the Congress party, and that's there. So see, and I'm just putting that caveat. Finally, Syed Zafar Islam, I've got limited time. I just want to say one thing, sir. If this government is committed against graft, then it's got to walk the talk, sir. Maharashtra shows that you say something and you're doing something else. Bengal shows you say something and you're doing something else. When you have people who you have accused of serious graft and you co-opt them into your party, sir, then you do not stand true on that claim of acting against graft. That can dent the trust factor.
Well, Anand,
and it's a warning, sir.
Well, Anand,
from the voter.
Anand, all I can say today, since we are in the process of analyzing the result, examining what went wrong, and then we can take a course correction. But having said that, all I will say today that there is something which has not gone right for us. Something has went wrong for sure, and that's why the result which is there for everyone to see. Even though 26% yet only in 9 seats, it is something which needs to be examined properly. We will slice it, dice it, and we'll understand what went wrong. And then, of course, as you said, we are as I said earlier, we are very receptive to suggestion made by the voters.
In politics, when you commit to something, you have to live to that commitment, sir. Action. And if you have a core ideology, don't deviate from that. That is something, the message of the voter is very clear. If you say you're going to act on graft, act on graft. Don't act with those who you have charged of graft. Secondly, sir, it's the voter who says, I vote for an ideology. There is a reason why that a Hindutva party has got the mandate, overwhelming majority mandate for 10 straight years. And if you dilute that plank, sir, when you co-opt those who are not aligned, then the voter will feel disgruntled. So these are small things. These are some other things, learnings, and there will be far more things to look down into the number and Sangathan-wise and organization-wise. But I think on the broadsheet, you see the numbers. The Congress benefits the most. The BJP hurts the most in Maharashtra. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. We've got big news coming in from Uttar Pradesh.